It's one of the most terrifying photographs in human history. Astronaut Bruce McCandless, the first cordless spacewalk. He didn't speak for 3 days after coming back. NASA psychiatrist asked him what was wrong. He said one thing, and I saw the Earth breathing. Doctors thought he was crazy. But then, more and more astronauts are reporting the same symptoms. They say when you stare at Earth from space for more than 30 seconds, you'll see it expand and contract, like a giant lung. This is not an illusion. It's because your brain doesn't understand it. An object with a diameter of 12,742 kilometers. It's clearly visible in your field of vision. Your cerebellum automatically puts breathing into it to justify this absurd picture. And here's what's even scarier. When you watch for a long time, you will feel the Earth staring at you. NASA calls this the reverse overview effect. No, you're looking at the Earth. The Earth is watching you. 30% of the astronauts experience this. They say it's scarier than seeing aliens. Because you suddenly realize, you think you are an observer, but you, just one cell in this blue monster. But that's just the surface horror of the overall effect. What really broke the astronauts was what happened next. December 24, 1968. Apollo 8 astronaut William Anders, while orbiting the moon, took the photo that changed human history. The moment he held up the camera, his hands were shaking. It's not weightlessness. Because he suddenly realized something. It's not a planet that he's photographing. It is the coffin of the entire human civilization. You know that feeling? It's like a game you've been playing for 20 years. Suddenly one day, you exit the game interface. I see the computer screen running this game. That moment. All mission equipment levels in the game. It all becomes code, turned into nothingness. And William Anders was in lunar orbit, and that's what happens after he returned to Earth. It took 3 years. Dare to talk in public about what you saw that day. And here's what's even weirder. Neuroscientists in 2014, using functional magnetic resonance imaging, scanning the brains of 17 astronauts, discovered an amazing secret. When these people recollect their space experiences, their brain's default mode network, abnormal synchronous discharge will occur. This area handles self-awareness and spatial orientation, but in the astronaut's brain, the pattern of activity in this area, and those who have experienced near-death experiences, almost identical. In other words, Earth from space, essentially a small spiritual death. This is not a metaphor, it's real neurological change. Your brain has a structure called a money drain. He is responsible for building your spatial reference system. Tell you I'm here, the world is out there. But when you're 320 kilometers in the air, when you see the Earth hovering like a marble, the system will crash in an instant. Because of the front of your shoe, evolved on the surface of the Earth. He simply doesn't have the ability to process this kind of information. When I crawled to the middle of the path, and I looked down, I feel very dark all around. I just wanted to see what was around me. What's under your feet? I just looked down inadvertently. Wow. Black. Bottomless black. The result is, your brain activates an emergency protection mechanism. It forces you into a sense of integration. One astronaut described it very accurately. So he says, I don't feel like an individual anymore. I became a part of the Earth. Or the Earth became a part of me. This feeling is not romantic poetry. It's a cognitive disorder. It's your brain trying to avoid a complete collapse. Extreme measures taken. But the real horror is yet to come. Year 2007. A team of Japanese neuroscientists did an experiment. They asked 30 subjects to wear VR glasses. A simulated view of Earth from the International Space Station. Just 15 minutes later, 43%. There are different degrees of self-blurring. Some people start to get confused between their hands and the table. Some people feel their consciousness spreading outward. 2 of them even broke down on the spot, claiming that he doesn't know who he is anymore. And this is just a VR simulation. The true space experience is 100 times more powerful. Because in space, your senses are receiving conflicting information. Your eyes tell you that the Earth is small. Your mind tells you it's big. Your body is telling you that you are floating. Your memory tells you that you should have weight. These contradictions will be in your brain, forming a giant cognitive black hole. The overall effect is the attractive force of the black hole. What's even more disturbing is, this effect is irreversible. Neuroscientists followed 63 astronauts, discovering that even if you return to Earth 10 years later, their brain structure is still different from that of ordinary people. Specifically, they're responsible for processing the boundary between self and other. It's permanently weakened. What does that mean? Means they can no longer be like ordinary people. Take for granted that I am me. The world is the world. A retired astronaut said something in an interview, silenced everyone for 30 seconds. He said, what I miss the most, not family and friends on Earth, not food and music. What I miss the most is the happiness of not knowing the truth. I open my eyes every day now. Well, remember the Earth hanging in darkness? That vulnerability, that loneliness, the absurdity of this memory is like a thorn, forever stuck in my head. can't pull it out. But you might ask, since it's so painful, why do these astronauts have to repeatedly apply to go to space? The answer is even weirder. Because they are addicted. Psychologists call this transcendence, experience addiction. When your brain experiences that, after the ultimate experience of the melting of self-boundaries, all the excitement on Earth will become tasteless. It's like after you've eaten the hottest chili. Ordinary food becomes tasteless. NASA has an internal report that has never been made public, documented an even more extreme case. 1996. An astronaut is on a mission to the International Space Station. Spends 6 hours a day staring at the Earth for 3 consecutive days. His colleagues noticed that something was wrong with him, because he doesn't eat, he doesn't sleep, he doesn't talk, just floating quietly in front of the porthole, staring at the blue planet without blinking. On the 4th day, when his colleagues forcibly took him away, and he said something that just creeped everybody out. I finally understand. We were never alive. We're just playing it over and over again. A video that has already happened. After this person returns to Earth, he was diagnosed with dissociative disorder, received psychotherapy for up to 5 years, but to this day, he still insists on what he saw in space. So he says, when you continuously stare at the Earth for more than a certain amount of time, you will see something you shouldn't see, not a hallucination. Is the hidden truth of this planet. He refused to say exactly what he saw, just keep saying some truth. Humans are not ready to accept. So, what does the overarching effect change about astronauts? Neuroscientists say it's time. We ordinary people have a linear sense of time. Past, present, future, experienced one by one. Astronauts watching the effect. Their sense of time becomes spherical. It sounds fantastic, but there is scientific evidence. When you look at the Earth from space, some of the light you see is reflected from the atmosphere. It took 0.001 seconds to reach your eye. Some are refracted from the ocean. It took 0.002 seconds. This tiny time difference, it's in your retina, create a peculiar effect. You will feel, I'm seeing the Earth's past and present at the same time. There was a physicist, proposed a more radical theory, overall effect. It could be the human brain, signs of first exposure to four-dimensional space. He thinks that when you look at the Earth from space, your brain will briefly break through the limitations of three-dimensional space to perceive the true fabric of space and time. This also explains why many astronauts come back. It creates a sense of seeing through everything. It's not that they got smarter. It's their perception dimension that has temporarily increased. But this theory is too advanced. The mainstream scientific community does not accept. But one thing is certain. The overview effect is rewriting our understanding of consciousness. Because it proves one thing, our sense of self. We have no doubt who I am. It's really just the brain. In order for us to survive on the surface of the Earth, and made up a story. And when you leave the Earth's surface, the story will start to crumble. What's even more shocking is, recent studies have found that you don't have to go into space. And part of the overview effect. 2019, a team of researchers developed an Earth meditation method. Subjects are immersed in a VR environment, view of the Earth from different heights. It turned out that, when the viewing altitude exceeds 10,000 kilometers, they start to have a loosening of boundaries. When the altitude exceeds 100,000 kilometers, 30% of people will experience integration with the Earth, illusion of oneness. And when the altitude reaches 380,000 kilometers, almost everyone will experience some degree of cognitive restructuring. This finding means that overall effects may not be unique to astronauts. It's a mechanism lurking deep in the human brain. Once activated, it will forever change the way you see the world. And with the popularity of commercial space travel, in the next 20 years, hundreds of thousands of people may experience this cognitive shock. What will happen to human civilization by then? More people will realize the illusion of national borders, the absurdity of war. There will be more. I had a nervous breakdown because I couldn't handle the truth. Nobody knows the answer. But one thing is certain. When you really see the planet from the outside, you can never go back. It's not that I can't go back to Earth. I can't go back to the self who doesn't know the truth. And this, maybe that's where the overarching effect gets really scary. It doesn't destroy you, is to wake you up. Not to drive you crazy, is to let you see our collective madness.